One of the most common questions I get about my autoimmune journey is, what do I eat? So today I'm going to show you some of my favorite foods that have helped me and supported my body over the last year, and I'll show you what to look for in your local grocery store. This is the second video in our autoimmune series, and I can't wait to show you more. Join me inside and let's get started. So before we dive into this video, there's a couple of things I want to tell you. And the first one is that nobody's perfect, right? So when you look at the food that I'm eating, remember that this has been a journey for me of several years, really intensely over the last year. And if your family is moving from a life of boxed macaroni and cheese and chicken nuggets, any improvement you make is a great one. So please don't feel like there has to be a specific level of perfection for this. It's just a process. And as long as you're always thinking about that, you will make great strides in your health. So let's start down here on this end of the table and let's talk about the foods. This is basically my life on a table. Everything that I eat is really here for you. So fats. Fats are very, very important when you're healing from an autoimmune disease or you're wanting to work on an inflammation. I know you're going to hear lots of contradictory information and data about what to eat, what's good for you, what's inflammatory and what's not, and I eventually just had to put on some blinders, close my eyes to all of the stuff that's out there and choose one path. And that's what I would recommend for you. Choose what you want, don't get overwhelmed. And when I was my sickest, this was the best I could do. I wasn't interested in eliminating anything else. I could not restrict myself any further, and this has been fine for me. So here we go, fats. I do avocado oils, and I do olive oil. Now, if I'm using olive oil, I usually don't heat it. So that's something to remember. It's just for salad dressings and that sort of thing. And I do a lot of saturated fats. So we go with beef tallow, coconut oil, butter. All of those solid fats are really, really important. What you want to avoid is canola, anything in a tub, like a tub butter that's soft and spreadable, sunflower, safflower seed oils, any of those that are liquid at room temperature, you need to double check and not use because they are highly, highly inflammatory to your body. Now, down front, we've got eggs. I'm going to move a couple things over so you can see. These are pastured eggs, and I don't know that you always have to go for a pastured egg, but I eat a lot of raw eggs, and if you're going to eat a raw egg, you need to reduce your risk for salmonella, and I do that by eating pastured ones. I get these from a local farm. You can get Vital Farms at your grocery store that are pasture raised. Those are okay. They're a little bit pricey, so we can talk about any of those things. If you're not sure like which quality of egg you should have, what kind of dairy you should get, leave me a comment and ask me for an additional video because I could make you a whole video on every single one of these categories. So please just let me know what you'd like to know more about and I'll be happy to share that with you. But eggs, they're a big part of my healing journey. I eat 5 or 6 a day sometimes, depending on what's going on. I put them in smoothies. I do eat them scrambled in the morning, all kinds of things. So eggs are really important for me. Then let's talk about ferments. A lot of people are not discussing the natural benefits of fermented foods, and so they are naturally probiotic. Everybody says, take a probiotic, take a pill, right? More pills. Get your probiotics from nature. That's the best, most powerful kind you can get your hands on. So I've got some kimchi out here. This one it's just fermented cabbage. There's really great fermented sauerkraut on the market. Unfortunately, the ones in the can, in the aisles of the grocery store are not the one you want. You want the one that you find in the refrigerated section of the produce department. Then I've got some kombucha out here. Not everybody loves the flavor of it, but we really like it. You just have to watch for a lot of added sugar in kombuchas, so pay attention to that. But if you want a good probiotic, get it in its natural state. So ferments for me are a part of my diet every day, and almost at every meal, I have a tablespoon or two. I don't eat the whole jar. I do not drink an entire kombucha at one setting. That would be really bad. And then a little more in the dairy department here. So raw and cultured dairy is really beneficial and really healing to my body. I kind of have to watch the milk. My body's not quite ready for all of that, but let me show you what to choose because this can be very confusing. So I can get raw milk cheddar at my grocery store, and you can get it at yours because it's in just about every one that I have ever been in has some raw dairy. If you didn't know that real Parmesan cheese is a raw milk dairy, it is, and it's aged, and it's really good for your body. So you always know that it's a real Parmesan because it will have the stamping on the rind right here. It'll show you. So make sure that yours has that. You can pick that up usually in your fancy cheese section or over by your deli. So that's excellent to have. And then this is just a regular cheddar, but it's aged. So when you go over in your craft cheese section where your slices are and that sort of thing, that cheese has never been aged. So look for one that's got a little bit of time on it. This one actually shows you on the back, it has like a grade on it. This one was aged for 2 years. That's a better cheese than just picking up a block in the back of the store. And then of course, for cottage cheese, look for one that has cultures in it. These are kind of new to the market, but this is a good culture cottage cheese. It's got natural probiotics sitting in it, so we're gonna feed the gut, we're gonna help the body that way. And this one's really good. And of course, butter, big part of what we do here is butter. You can actually pick it up cultured, which is more probiotics. You can't go wrong there. But any kind of a good grass-fed butter is really, really important. So start looking for that. If you're new to butter, if you've been on tub things, just make a basic adjustment and you can move up to some of those different kinds a little bit later. Now meat. Big debates about meat, but I find that meat is very, very important for my nutrition. So you don't have to be too super particular. When it comes to bacon, look for one that is uncured and doesn't have sugar. Sometimes that can be very hard to find. I picked this one up at Aldi, and it's the most affordable one that I can find on the market. I have not shown you this video here on the channel, but I have a meat stock recipe that is very, very important for reducing inflammation. If you have an autoimmune disease, I feel like it is a foundational recipe that you should be eating and drinking and making your recipes with. So I will make you a video for that, but I use chicken in my meat stock. And this one's a pastured one. It's a bit of an investment. So start out with whatever you can afford. If you are not familiar with what labeling on chicken means, let me know. I will teach you all about it. Beef. We raise our own beef here on our farm, and this is from a company that we have it just processed, that sort of thing. This one we did not buy. This was a cow that that they provided for us at our processing facility, but it was raised locally. It's very important that we get a local beef so we know how it was raised, that sort of thing. And we eat a lot of beef in our house. It's been very healing and very nutritious. So got steaks, we've got hamburger, fish, seafood, shrimp, any of that is wonderful. The key is to make sure that you're doing wild caught, right? We want to make sure that it says on there that it's a wild caught fish, that it wasn't farmed. If there's anything I was going to tell you not to budge on, it's farmed fish. Please don't eat it. It's just full of things that we can talk about in another video if you want to. Just check the back. If it doesn't say right here on the front, you can flip it over, and right on the back it's going to tell you where it was raised, if it was farm raised or wild caught. So very important to read those. And then when I'm in a real crunch and don't have a lot of time to eat, I grab like a Chomp's beef stick. These are grass fed and they don't have any extra sugar or weird things in them, and it's a nice hit of protein. So these are great to have on hand. You need things that are quick. It's also important to note that canned is not always bad. I love canned wild Alaskan salmon. I do frozen vegetables, frozen fruits. Those are all right, and they're going to save you money on your budget. So please don't feel like you have to buy everything fresh all the time. Now, nuts and seeds I do in limited amounts, but I always want to make sure that they're sprouted. And you've heard me talk about that before here on the channel, but I pulled out a few to show you for an example. These are cashews, and that just means that they have been soaked and then re-dried before they come to you to eat. And I buy mine from Thrive Market. You can absolutely do it yourself, but I don't have the time to spend 12 hours drying nuts. So you can also get sprouted popcorn, you can do quinoa. All of your grains ideally should be sprouted to help reduce the anti-nutrients that are in them. When you eat them and they're not sprouted, they come through your body, they pick up all of your trace minerals and they take them out. So we want to keep the minerals in your body for nutrition, and it's important that if you're going to eat these that they're sprouted. Then down here, of course, to fruits and vegetables. Yes, we have to have a lot of these. Probably the biggest bulk of what I eat is non-starchy fruits and vegetables. So olives are a great fat source for me, so I love to eat those. And of course, I've pulled out some canned things for you because it's about progress, not perfection. It's all right. And then I do, bell peppers, avocado. I've got Brussels sprouts, your brassica family, cauliflower, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, arugula, all of those are amazing for your body. But I do recommend that they're always cooked. So try not to eat too many of them raw. It's a little hard on your digestion. And of course, I've got some asparagus back here. I lay low on potatoes and sweet potatoes. They're a little too many carbs for me, and they're a little too starchy. So I keep those to a minimum, special occasion kind of things. And of course, plenty of fruits. Those I eat maybe 3 to 4 times a week, and I try to make sure that I'm eating the whole fruit and not doing too much juicing. It's a little too much of a sugar burst for me. So all of these things in moderation are a wonderful, supportive part of your healing journey. And again, like I said, let me know in the comments area if you want to see additional videos about any of these particular areas, and I'll be happy to make you one. So check out another video right here, and I will see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys.